back streaming Sims 3 Pets. My Xbox has been running for about 30-40 minutes now, has not overheated. Hopefully it won't overheat the stream, we will see. I may be coming out frequently checking the heat of my console. It's actually last time I checked was about 5 minutes ago. Last time I checked about 5 minutes ago, it was hot, but it was not to the temperature that it was last Friday when it overheated twice. And I can still move the game. You can see that my controller has not been frozen. In the event that my Xbox does overheat, I'm going to be saving in checkpoints. So if we get Tanisha to be a friend level, we're going to be saving then. We're also going to be saving every single time that Bobby gets a level in her gardening skill. We are still working on getting her to gardening level 7. She is level 5 now. She just has 2 more levels to get to. And we will need to go to the bookstore to buy another book. So let's go ahead and see how much we can get done today. So I will say that, as I mentioned before, if my Xbox overheats again, then I can consider it to be a mechanical issue and that I will need to get a new 360. If that happens, then this series will be going on hiatus and Saints Row 1 will be temporarily taking its place until I'm able to buy a new 360. There are some games that I'm heavily considering playing for essentially the first time. There are some games that I heavily consider playing for the first time now that I actually have a PS5. One of the games that I'm planning on... Nice. One of the games I'm planning on playing was, God of War. I want to eventually cover God of War, the 2018 version. And I want to be able to play God of War Ragnarok. Another game I'm considering playing on this channel is Ghost of Tsushima. It's a game that I've been actually kind of thinking about playing. I've been kind of more so thinking about playing ever since the Assassin's Creed Shadows release. As for the controversy surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of misconceptions with the game for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It has been getting a lot of flack around the fan base. It has been getting a lot of flack around the fan base of from people who, including like Japanese people as well, who think that Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft is inaccurately misrepresenting Yasuke as a character, because some people are just set in believing that Yasuke was essentially a slave of Oda Nobunaga and not a retainer or a samurai working for Oda Nobunaga. Which there are conflicting reports for that thing, but there's really not much information known about Yasuke. In some parts of history, information about certain figures are just very sparse. It's only people that really stand out. It's only people that really stand out where you can actually tell if who this person is. There's more information on Oda Nobunaga as a character than there is on Yasuke, and that's because a lot of people work for him. He's kind of was a respected military leader and all this kind of stuff. He has like a lot of information, a lot of documented records about him. Meanwhile, Yasuke was a former slave and presumably, possibly even a full-on slave, but apparently he did have status. He was given a right to own a property, and while he was working for Oda Nobunaga. So yeah, it's just, but there are people out there that just are kind of making themselves look bad, perhaps unintentionally, with how they're criticizing Assassin's Creed Unity's decision to to include Yasuke as a focal main protagonist, based on how he was possibly portrayed in history, and people are disagreeing with him and thinking that Ubisoft is changing history. I will say the same thing that I say to a lot of I would say to the same thing I say to a lot of the critics I've encountered, that if you have no problem with the Neo, the Souls-like game, where you play as an English sailor serving as a samurai and essentially fighting Oni in Japan, where they also have Yasuke as a black samurai that you meet later on in the story. If you have no problem with that as a concept, then you should have no problem with Yasuke being a playable character and being a black samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Personally, I am kind of excited about this concept. Assassin's Creed Shadows looks like it will be a lot of fun to play. Assassin's Creed Shadows, like, it'll be a lot of fun to play. A lot of fans, a lot of hardcore fans have been looking forward to the possibility of playing a Japanese focused Assassin's Creed game. And that's something that I'm actually really looking forward to. Another thing that I will say is another thing I will say is another thing I will say is I'm personally am hopeful that Assassin's Creed Shadows will kind of survive the criticisms that has been given to it. I hope that it will actually be successful and be the game needed to kind of bring Assassin's Creed back to the forefront. I feel like that a lot of Ubisoft games has been hit or miss lately. And I just really kind of hope that one day Ubisoft will be able to turn things around. I still remain hopeful. Assassin's Creed is my favorite video game series, and I will eventually be covering Assassin's Creed Shadows when it comes time on my channel. But it's just, it really, really comes down to a couple of different things. Like, it's just whether or not like it's successful or not. Like, it really comes down to how well they implement the design of Japan, how well they incorporate the designs, how the gameplay performs. Like, is it going to be true to form for an Assassin's Creed game, or is it going to be more like the Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla? Personally, my biggest pet peeve is, since it is an RPG game, I'm hoping that they won't include a I'm hoping they won't include a multiple endings. That's one of my biggest problems with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I absolutely hate how there are multiple endings in that game. For those curious why I have a problem with multiple endings in Assassin's Creed games, even though it may make sense for an RPG game, it actually doesn't really make sense for an Assassin's Creed game. And the reason why I think it doesn't make sense is you're essentially using an animus to relive history, relive a historical event, and history is set in stone. Like, everything from the past may very well be set in stone. We can't change the past, but in my opinion, we can change the outcome of the future. So it doesn't really make any sense if Layla uses the animus to relive the memories of Cassandra or Eivor. Why should there be multiple choices to change the outcome of the story when it should be set in stone? It's been really my big criticism for Assassin's Creed, for the multiple endings of Assassin's Creed games. And again, like, it could very well be something. There, a lot of people may have like their own like opinions on it. A lot of people may just think, oh, it's actually not that big of a deal. There's actually a very solid reason for this. I just seen people just kind of cite that Layla's animus is different, where it essentially where Layla's animus is essentially different, where you come on. I've seen like arguments where people say that Layla's animus is different, where it actually is able to change the outcomes of the history, which or choose like different outcomes for the story, which again like doesn't really make sense. So far, like the only differences with Layla's animus and like everyone else is that you are not limited to the DNA of a host. And what I mean by that is Layla, like the animus of used in the past, like from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed Syndicate, it uses DNA from someone who lives in the present or who lived in the present. It does not take DNA from someone who lived in the past. Layla's animus does that, where it's able to take a sample of someone dead guy's DNA and is able to relive their life. That is the difference between Layla's animus and the animuses seen between Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where it's not dependent on the memories or genetic data of someone living on the present. That is what I kind of feel that people just kind of misunderstand with the Layla's animus, but it's just I'm really hopeful. I really want to be able to really enjoy this game in the same way that I enjoyed like a lot of Assassin's Creed games, where I don't have to worry about whether my choices will change the outcome of the story. I want to be able to play, just have fun, just make my own decisions without feeling like I need to look up a true ending of the game and blah 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 blah. Look up what choices does what. That's not as fun to me. I really don't like having to look up stuff on the internet to make sure whether or not I should kill this guy or spare him. And that's something that I do kind of feel will. That's something that I do kind of feel should actually be. Shouldn't actually make a return in Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's also been some information with Assassin's Creed Hexe that should also bring up. So Assassin's Creed Hexe actually focuses on the witch trials, witch hunting in like medieval England or medieval Europe, where people were just hunting down people accused of witchcraft. And in Assassin's Creed Hexe, it was actually revealed that the main character does use magic. And a lot of people are actually having a problem with this, but I do kind of feel that it can work if the reason why they can use magic is actually because of something related to the first civilization, like a first civilization artifact. If it is actually just someone like doing if it's actually just someone like doing actual like magic, like straight up like Harry Potter shit, then I think that would be kind of more problematic. Another thing that we'll say is there's honestly I remain optimistic on the development of Assassin's Creed from this point on. Like, it seems like that Assassin's Creed, that Ubisoft does have a plan for the foreseeable future. It's just they've created like a lot of bad will with a lot of recent games. Like, I think it goes as far back as. Honestly, I think that things started to kind of go down like a dip in quality probably around the time that Assassin's Creed Odyssey released. That's kind of when like people started to have more criticism in general more frequently. But personally, I'm hopeful that things will actually improve for the better. I just don't know if it actually will. It's just it really depends. It really depends on how they handle it. Let's go ahead and make some food. Go ahead and make fish and chips. So I will say that I am. If people may be aware that 3 or 4 weeks ago I started exercising daily. I admittedly just kind of had days where I actually don't exercise. I just kind of either forgot to, or especially like in days where it's like freaking triple digit weather, I just don't really just feel motivated to exercise. And I actually have lost. I'm actually currently 250 pounds exactly, not 250.6 or point 0.4, 250 pounds. So I am consistently losing weight, and I am actually really happy about that. But one thing that I will say is, it's definitely been kind of a challenge to actually tell myself, "Hey, today I'm going to exercise." It's just things just keep on getting in the way. Like I just keep on like getting distracted or stuff like that. Okay, grab food. There's some chips. Grab a plate. I'm gonna have you go to sleep. I haven't had fish and chips in a while. So we're gonna have to go to the bathroom, take a shower, and we're gonna have you. I got the hiccups. God, gonna have you go to sleep. Trying to hold my breath so that my hiccups will go away. Do we get a level up? Do we get a promotion? I mean, congratulations, Gordon! Impressive performance has earned a promotion to Epitaph Writer as well as a bonus $663. Writing it. God, that is so. Writing epitaphs might be depressing, but at least you get to use your creativity. Let her rip. Of course. Leftovers, we're gonna have fish and chips. We're gonna have you sleep. Just gonna fast forward a little bit. So I'm actually, while this is running, I'm actually gonna go ahead and. Oops. What are you doing? Go to sleep. While this is running, I'm gonna go check the temperature of my Xbox, make sure it's not too hot. It's hot, but it's not like as hot as it was last Friday. But I'm actually gonna go ahead and put another save in just in case. We're probably gonna go for 2 hours today. Not really confident in my ability to stream for 4 hours as at the moment, so And I know I said last Saturday, or maybe it was last Sunday or whatever, when I like on Twitter, when I had that case of insomnia. But I know I said that I was going to stream for 4 hours, but it's really kind of depends on how my Xbox 360 performs today, and I honestly don't think it's gonna. I don't feel confident in my ability for it to last that long. Why is there a hole in the wall? Like, I see that like on the bed. Yeah, I'm seeing through the wall. God dang it! Try this again. A gardening level 3. Now we just need one life fruit, right? Life fruit and deathfish. Okay, so let's go into your inventory. Sell stack. Sell a deathfish, that's good. Go into gardening and read. Also cast a karma power on you. One is it? Bobby Knight, inventory. It should get us to level 7 faster. Okay, we are almost to level 7. Congratulations, Bobby's Gardening is at level 7. Even though we really need level 7, I just want to get like any advantage I can get. Bobby's on level 8. Okay, let's go out here. We're gonna build our garden here. So if I am remembering this correctly, we need to open catalog, household inventory. Why do I feel like that fertilizing with a death fish will make it not good? Sims, free pets. Okay, so we're now fertilizing with the dead fish. I was right to check. Let's go here. We're just gonna catch one fish. Eat leftovers. We're gonna have fish and chips. Eat leftovers, fish and chips. Okay. Go ahead and go over here. Fertilize with goldfish. There is something that I do want to check. Get all the freaking things we have completed. Oh, really? Okay, so we actually can get this done, like, right now. That's cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and try and get this done. This should get us 2 challenges done. Eat leftovers, fish and chips. I thought that was something else. That's supposed to be a brain. That's the weirdest looking brain I ever saw. I thought that was a lung. And I'm not gonna. I'm just being perfectly honest here. I thought that was a lung. I didn't know that was a brain. So I actually don't know how this works, really. I'm just really hoping I get lucky. Green thumb done. That's another set of challenges we completed. I hear a kid. Oh, it's you. Take a look at our challenges. 255 of 275. So we'll be getting 110 points. That is 365 points total. Just 10 away from a level. I'm gonna go ahead and put another save in. Okay. So there is something I do want to show off, and that's something I want to discuss relating to this playthrough. Once we get cooking completely maxed out, once we cook ambrosia, it will always be a perfect recipe regardless of the ingredients. Once we cook ambrosia, we are actually going to we're actually gonna advance time to normal. We're gonna try and age both Zara and Dylan to be adult. We're probably gonna focus on Zara first. Once he gets to adult and Dylan's a teen, we're gonna be moving her into a new household, and Dylan's gonna be kind of like her. She's gonna essentially take care of Dylan while she's raising her. And we're gonna be moving into the Kingsley house. So basically, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be focusing on three different things. We're gonna be focusing on getting Zara to be a max level in the criminal career during the thief branch. We're gonna have Dylan be max level of the political career. And I'm thinking that I get the feeling that the people may think it's kind of creepy, but the fact that I'm quote unquote maybe quote unquote grooming Tanisha here. But I'm really just strategizing. I'm planning ahead like who I think would be like a good person to work with. Uh, Tanisha doesn't have too many negative traits. The only negative trait she has is clumsy, and that's really not that bad. So I am actually thinking that once we get Tanisha to, she ages up to adult, we're gonna be having. Once she ages up to a teenager, we're gonna have her move in with Zara, and we're just gonna be slowly monitoring her things. We're gonna try and like get her to Gonna try and get her to got brain. Gonna try and get her to like a career that we can work with. So if we check the map, there's really only a handful of careers we have left to work. So all we have left to do is the other criminal career, which is criminal mastermind. We have the writing and business. Actually, no, we got business in the first playthrough. We need the journalism career, and we need the other half. We need the other half of the music career, which is rockstar. And then the only other career we have left is science and athletic. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5 careers you have left to work on. We'll be taking down 3 in the next generation. Take a look at your career. Are you max level yet? Yes, you are. So you won't be getting another promotion. So that is actually almost all of the careers done. All the part-time jobs done. See, so let's check the. I've lost my train of thought. Shit, there's something I forgot to do. I forgot to do something very important. You haven't had any audio, and the reason for that is I forgot to change one setting. Okay, so for those curious, and this is something that I really wish that I've noticed earlier, I just completely forgot. So let me just go ahead and explain what just happened here. Last game that I played was as Infamous 1 on the PS5. PS5 is a very weird console to stream on because the only way you can have both audio recorded on stream and for you to hear the audio on a headset like this is if you use something called a, what is it called? Oh no, I can figure this out. I forgot what it's called, but if I look in the order history. It's Hold on, I can't figure this out. It's not showing up on my order history because it's too old. PS5. How? Chatlink Pro. It is called an Elgato Chatlink Pro. If you want to hear audio through your headset and have audio come up through stream, you have to use an Elgato Chatlink Pro, and the only way you can do that with it working is you need to go into your Elgato settings and change your audio input from HDMI to analog, and I forgot to change it back from analog to HDMI, so that's why you weren't hearing any audio. Luckily for a game like Sims, there's really it's just a whole like background noise and ambient noise, so it's probably not a big deal, but it is stupid that it happened. It would also be more problematic if it was Saints Row 1. I'm actually gonna need to make a mental note for that, like at the end of each stream for Infamous 1, I change it back to HDMI. That's something I need to do. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking a Sunkiss, by the way. It's actually almost gone. So what I was gonna say is there's actually only a handful of part-time jobs left. We have spa specialist, receptionist. And I think that may be it. Unless there's something here. Yeah, there is something here at the hospital, so I guess we're gonna be doing a part-time job at the hospital now. Pet care specialist. We already did this. We already did that. Okay, so I guess as a duplicate for hospital, because we already had that one done. Did that over here. And so I guess the only other careers we have left is day spa, get a part-time job as receptionist. Tries again, this time we have to select the right character. Beverage consultant, would you like to be a receptionist at the day spa? So I remember when I was a kid, like I have a little gardening story that's perhaps not a good one, but when I was a kid, I actually tried my hand at planting something and trying to grow something. I I was eating an apple and I took a seed out of an apple and I just planted a little hot. And my mom just put it in the windowsill, and I was supposed to put water in it a little bit every single day, but I forgot and the thing dried out. It did sprout. It did sprout. But I didn't really get that far. But part of me wonders what happens. Part of me wonders what would have happened if I actually continued to grow that apple. Then would we have been able to plant it at the house that we were renting? Or would we have just like gone to the woods? We were living like in a mountain town, so would we have gone into the woods to plant that apple tree? That's something I always kind of wondered. Let's go home. I'm gonna test the temperature of my Xbox again, make sure it's not overheating. It is really freaking hot. So it's probably gonna overheat soon. Oh, this is the wrong controller. Gonna put another save. There's one thing that I can do, and it's get a compressed air can and try to blow off the dust. That could be contributing to the heat, but I don't think it is. That is something that I could try and do. Okay? Rummage? Let's see, inventory. I'm actually kind of curious how long it takes for a light plant to grow. Six days. That's for Sims 3 though. Apparently it's if they're given the best fertilizer and then reach maturity in 6 days. So how much for not the best fertilizer? Or common, uncommon cheese plants and eggplants. Yeah, so that doesn't qualify for light fruit. Okay. 6 days seems to be the magic number. It's only been 1 day so far. I keep on having these like weird dreams that I'm still in school. Like even though I've been graduated out of school for really since last fall. Really like Christmas last year, but it's really kind of weird because I keep on having these dreams that I'm in school, like stress dreams about me still being at school. And there was a moment.
Zerg. Should be me. Jibby.
There was actually a moment yesterday, not really yesterday, but there was a moment last night when I actually, really, I think it was a couple days ago actually, where I dreamt that I still had class and that I wasn't actually graduated, and I found out that I completely ruined my chances of getting a bachelor's degree. That again, I already have. It's downstairs in my living room. Or really, it's like my dining room. It's just weird. Like I keep on having these stress dreams that I really should not be having about school that I'm essentially done with, and it just keeps on happening. Like I was kind of hoping the stress dreams would go away when I graduated, but still very much a thing. Inventory. I need you to sell, sell. Read. I do. I mean.
Dib web.
So we're currently an hour and 6 minutes in the stream. We're likely going to be streaming for another 45 minutes. that correct? Yes. Assuming, of course, that my computer doesn't, like, as fast as overheat. I guess it technically also functions like a computer. Okay.
Oh, Grotzel.
You go ahead and get something to eat.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Bo.
Oh.
And as for you,
Oh. Zephiu.
you eat something too. Writing, port on Osangatus.
Hmm. Hmm.
You need to go to sleep.
Oh.
You go to sleep too. Actually, no, it's not.
There's Goobit.
There's some like recipes in Sims that I always was kind of interested to try. Baked angel food cake is one of those recipes. I think that would be kind of interesting to try it out. Actually looks pretty good.
Oh. Oh. Oh, Varney, Darb.
Okay. Take a look at you. I'm really just killing time. Eat food. I'm gonna have you go to sleep. Sleep. And you sleep. Let's check our plant.
Huh. Fuzino.
What to do now? It doesn't really matter what we do. Really just killing time until we get this plant to grow. What we can do is cast a karma power on Bobby, because we are kind of full. I was so disappointed, by the way. I've recently been playing Sims 4 a little bit. Still not my favorite Sims game. There's a lot of problems that I have with Sims 4. But I at least thought that I would be able to get past, like, quite possibly my biggest problem with the game. If I had the option to have, like, a usability like, the Karma Power for Jackpot. And I actually found out that Sims 4 does not use Karma Powers, they use potions. Some of those potions actually give some really, like, good stuff. The problem is there is no potion that gives you a bunch of simoleons. And quite possibly my biggest problem with Sims 4 is it gives you the when you start a new game, it kind of have like 2 or 3 different houses. There's 2 or 3 different towns you can choose from. One of them is a desert town. The other one is kind of a oasis. I can't remember what it was. Like a more vegetative area. I can't remember what it's called. But regardless of what town you choose, you will always be stuck with a trailer home, essentially, like a mobile home. And it's literally the smallest, like, 1 bedroom house you can get. And the next upgrade is about like 30,000. So once you move into that house, you're gonna have like next to nothing, and you have to slowly like build up your money with the careers to and slowly build up your money with the careers and slowly work with like $30,000, $35,000 in order to be able to you slowly work your way up to that amount of money in order to be able to get like a house that is a slight upgrade. And my biggest problem with that is really just how the game is really designed. The game is just designed so poorly. And the freak thing is, like, the DLCs that they introduce do not make things any better. In fact, recently they included, like, a Back to Work DLC for free. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. I could start a new DLC. I didn't even know I had it at first. And I was playing with my characters for the first time ever. In, like, freaking months. And I said I got to work after just having like a weekend off. I was like, wait, what's going on? Why is my character having a negative mood when he's at work? He was fine just a minute ago. Found out that he was sick with an illness that the Back at Work DLC introduces. And illnesses are quite possibly the dumbest thing they could have added in a Sims game. Yes, it makes it more realistic. But I don't play the game, play the Sims game for a one-on-one representation of life. I play the game because it's just fun to just kind of start my own family and kind of be able to have like a simulation of life while not being accurate, entirely representative of life. My character was sick with what looked like the chicken pox. And I couldn't like tell him to come home because then he would just be dishing work. But at the same time, his performance was going down because it had such a negative moodlet. So it was just like a really stupid thing that caused me to end the playthrough and uninstall that DLC. And honestly, when I do eventually cover Sims 4, and I will be covering it eventually, I'm gonna be going in there with no DLC. It's just none of the DLCs interest me at all. They are all so fucking bad. Like, it's just insane to me how bad some of these DLCs are. And to give it like an example, the Cats and Dogs DLC for Sims 4, yes, it does introduce dogs you can play. It does introduce dogs in your household, but the way Sims 3 Pets, it utilizes pets in a much better way. A much better way. With pets, look, you can just go ahead and select Spencer Knight. You can see what he needs. You can see he's a little bit hungry. You can see he needs to like chew on his toy and have some fun and work on his discretion skill. These stats are helpful with understanding what your dog needs. With the Cats and Dogs DLC in Sims 4, you literally don't know if your dog is hungry until they're practically starving and begging you for food. That is how fucking stupid the Cats and Dogs DLC in Sims 4 is. They included a new career, veterinarian, and I have not played around with that career at all, but it's not good. The DLC is just not good. I'll say it once and I'll say it again, like, Sims 3 Pets is a much better game in my opinion than Sims 4. And I really hope that Sims 5 Project Reen is what they're calling it. Or at least that's the series project name. I really hope they don't lean more into like this whole realism thing, because again, I don't play the Sims franchise for realism. I play just to have fun, just have a simulation of life without like the whole like realistic thing. Because let's be honest here, there are a lot of aspects in real life that just fucking suck. Shit freaking happens that can cause your life to go into a downward spiral that is really outside of your control. To make an example, to have an example of it, my grandma and my grandpa passed away like a few years ago. My grandpa passed away in 2018 and my grandma passed away in 2020. Uh, both of them left an inheritance from my dad and his siblings. My dad was made the executor of their estate, and he was more than happy to just kind of match the funds and give everyone their equal share. But my aunt threw a fucking hissy fit and demanded, essentially saying that my dad isn't trustworthy, by him probably working the hardest in his life more than any other of his other siblings. So his sister literally commandeered the whole. His sister literally commandeered the whole executor thing, and she ended up running the thing. Instead of giving her siblings an equal share, she pocketed half the money and gave the rest of it to her children and her husband. Instead of, oh, I don't know, caring for her freaking blood relatives, her two brothers, she just literally did not give a shit about my dad or my now late Uncle Greg. And it's just really kind of unfortunate. Like, that's kind of one example of life throwing a curveball and people getting screwed in the process. I have seen examples like How I Met Your Mother is another good example. How I Met Your Mother. 2.5 Men is another good example. A portrayal of a divorce kind of going not fairly at all. Like Alan Harper, even though he's a fictional character, Alan Harper lost everything in his divorce against Judith, and Judith took him for every dime he got. He's left with nothing, and he consistently has nothing. And that kind of shit happens in real life. And it's just really kind of stupid. And I just swear to God, if fucking Project Ringling is more into the realism bullshit, then I'll be kind of pissed. I would freaking hate it if I'm playing as Bobby and then, oh wow, she got diagnosed with cancer. Oh, I'm sorry, due to random RNG bullshit, the doctors can't cure your disease. Guess are gonna die now. When she is a freaking young adult. I would be so pissed off if that happened. I would be so pissed off if that happened. There's really no reason for realism to be a factor in Sims games when it was really never meant to be about realism. In a game where a Sim can get pregnant and have a child within 3 days, realism should not be a factor. But DLCs in Sims 4 and just kind of make it a factor, and I do not like it at all. I absolutely hate that shit. So I'm keeping a close eye on Project Ring. I'm trying to keep up to date on some of the updates for that series, for that game. But I swear to God, if they bring back diseases from the Back to Work DLC in Sims, in Sims 4, I was thinking Sims 3 Pets. If they bring back the really poorly designed pet function in Sims 4, if they just lean more into the realism to make it so that it's just not even fun to play, then I'm just gonna be honest here, that may actually turn me off in the Sims franchise for good. Like, I swear to God, like, it's as much as I love playing Sims games. And my very first experience with Sims was Sims 3 on Nintendo Wii. I mentioned this so many times before. I absolutely loved that game despite its many flaws. But what I don't like is I don't play the Sims games just boards. I don't like feeling stressed out over things that are essentially not in my control. With Sims 3 Pets, like, yes, there is some luck based on some of the events, but for the most part, that can usually be counteracted by increasing your skills. And essentially using current powers like luck or whatever, lucky break, and just increasing your success on some of those luck-based things. If they take away those type of quality of life things that make Sims enjoyable and they make it like a one-to-one recreation of life, then I honestly would not be too pleased. Really, my main problem with the DLC for Sims 4 is it's leaning heavily into realism. The fact that they have a couple DLCs that expands on the toddlers and raising of kids to make it a little bit more realistic is also something I don't particularly like as well. Like again, I do not play Sims games for its realism. I play it for its to essentially have fun. There's a lot of things in Sims franchise that is not realistic, and I love it all the same. Anyway, it's really kind of stupid.
Brutal.
Let's go ahead and make some food so we have some stuff in the leftovers. For breakfast, we're gonna make French toast. Still waiting on this live plant to grow. Once again, like we're gonna be streaming for 2 hours today, and it's mainly because of the fact that I don't trust my Xbox 360 not to overheat. As I guarantee you that it's probably gonna overheat this stream anyway, but it's just the fact that my 360 just is consistently overheating does not give me confidence in its ability to stream for 4 hours anymore. I'm actually heavily considering buying another 360 and just trashing this one once it comes in. This 360 has caused me so many problems. I had to spend so much money trying to get it repaired. And it's just like a poorly refurbished console. It's really kind of it's kind of like a get what you pay for kind of thing. Like you buy a refurbished console, it's guaranteed that there's probably going to be some problems with it. But I still kind of wish that because I swear to God, like when I had a 360, I played that game like for like 8 hours a day. Like when I was not at school, like I was on that game for like maybe 6 or 8 hours. And I never had an issue like this, and I was always on YouTube. I was always watching videos when I'm playing video game.
Ooh,
And I would honestly be kind of disappointed. I never had an issue with it, and God fucking antivirus program. Stop!
Ooh, quants. Oh.
Go away.
Nixie.
Go away. Go away. Let me close this out. Let me close this out. Thank you. God, I freaking hate this computer.
Hardu.
Just so let's put away leftovers. Can I close this now? Can I close this antivirus program now? Thank you.
Oh, Neffy. Give it. Oh, Neffy.
Honestly, what I'm thinking about doing is changing the lifespan to normal. There's really nothing much else that we can work on at this moment. And really, as soon as this plant grows, we're going to be moving on, so we may as well. Home days, 7 days.
Oh, not gonna be with
Nothing like the taste of flat soda. Go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Go ahead and use a bath. Oh, why is it? Why do people not flush? Eat leftovers. There's toast.
Ituba.
Zabada goo me yob.
Okay, let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. And while this is fast forwarding, let me go ahead and check the heat of my console. Oh yeah, it's so fucking hot. Go ahead and save. Where is this plant? Water and tin garden. He looks anorexic. Change outfit every day. Go ahead and eat. Dumbass. Go ahead and eat. Eat leftovers, French toast. Now you take a shower.
Canuti Fwebs. Zoob Jahani Mas. T. Wab.
How are you doing?
Sabaga.
Doing fine. How are you doing? You're doing fine.
Hey. Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there's really nothing else I can really work on at the moment until this plant grows. And the only thing I can think of is just work on different skills. We will be getting a raise today, which is great. What I actually think I'm going to do is after this stream, I think I have a compressed air can, like a, is it called like WD-40 or something that was called? And it's like a compressed air can I use for electronics. I'm gonna try and like see if I can blow the dust off my, just to see if there's any that may be contributing to overheating as well. Just usually when I finish streaming 360 game, I put my I unplug my 360 and put it back in the top drawer of my desk. So there really shouldn't be like any dust forming there, but anything's possible.
Pretzel. Huh.
How are you doing, Gort? Leftovers, French toast.
With Boo. Oh.
Woo. Empty bit so toy. Woo.
Nabsha.
So I'm gonna put in a save pretty quick, like in another 5 minutes, in a couple minutes, but we are kind of near the end of the stream. This setting gave me stream for 2 hours today, and it's mainly because I don't trust my Xbox Live to overheat again. And if your Xbox, for those unaware, for those PC players that may be out there that are unaware of things with console, if your console overheats too much, they can actually permanently damage your system. And while this is especially true for older consoles like Xbox 360, it is also true for current consoles like Xbox Series X and the PS5. So that's why I'm wanting to try and limit myself until I'm actually convinced that I kind of have a more stable stream thing. Because the last thing I want to do is to have my Xbox 360 be completely bricked. So, as much as I would love to be able to sit down and play this game for another 2 hours, I don't know if it's possible for me to be able to do that. Because my Xbox is already so hot to the touch, it's probably like on the verge of overheating. It's actually about as hot as it is right now as it was last Friday when it overheated twice. The difference being, of course, we have not actually been reloading the game constantly to kind of cause the Xbox to process more than it can. And I believe that's a contributing factor to why it overheated last time. But I do feel that. Who is Layla? I do know that I was actually able to confirm that does not seem to be a mechanical issue, at least not the way it was last time I had an issue with my fan, with my coolant icebox's ability to cool. But it because usually what happened last time, the last couple times my icebox overheated, is whenever it like I turned on for 5 minutes and then overheated. That's how bad it was. But didn't do that, obviously. It's been streaming for an hour and 46 minutes, but it is really hot right now, so until I'm actually able to be confident enough to say, hey, it's not going to overheat for streaming 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm just gonna limit myself to the amount of time I stream today. Saturday's Infamous stream and Sunday's Saints Row stream should not be affected by this. We are playing on the Series X and the PS5, so we shouldn't have any issue with the streaming. What you can expect for Infamous' stream, we will be getting the rest of the blast shards found in the Neon District. We may also be getting an achievement for providing 25% of the blast shards. The other thing is, we will also be getting the for Essential 1, we'll be making some considerable story progress, and we'll also be making some side quest progress. In relation to Saints Row 1, we're actually going to be spending possibly the first 30 minutes to an hour. Nice. We're probably going to be spending the first 30 minutes to an hour just driving around a specific neighborhood trying to get a rare car to spawn. The rare car, I believe, is called a Mad Dog. It's the last car that's required for the Chop Shop activity at the Vice Kings District. Apparently it's an incredibly rare car to spawn, but it can actually spawn. There are alternatives to the Mad Dog. You can either wait until you're further enough the story for the Saints to really drive the Mad Dog, or you can just play the hijack activity in the Los Canales district to level 7, where you steal a Mad Dog and take that into the Chop Shop. I'm not going to be using either, so I'm going to try and get a spawn on my own. In theory, if I keep driving in the district where it says it's supposed to be found, I'm assuming that means there's a higher chance of it being found there. I don't know if that's true, but we're just going to be driving around in circles around that neighborhood until one spawns, and it's probably going to be I don't know if it's going to take off stream, but we'll definitely be taking a decent amount of time. That being said, I think that's going to do it for today. If you are mainly interested in what you see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be played for 100% completion. I'm going to be streaming Simply Pets yet again next Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be streaming Infamous 1 for 100% completion and the Platinum Trophy on Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be streaming Saints Row 1 for 100% completion on Sundays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in games you play for 100% completion, know that I only go for a 100% income statistic, but 100% in achievements as well. That's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.